Hey guys, welcome to my channel. In this video, I will be showing you how I made this DIY cutting table for my design room. This video is long overdue, but better late than never. For a lot of you who asked how I made this table, I will show you how now. I would love to say that I created this cutting table with my bare hands, like out in the back cutting wood, but ain't nobody got time for that. So what you want to do is go to Ikea and search for the Kallax shelving unit or the Kallax shelf and or storage unit. It's all the same difference. There are a couple different Kallax pieces, so you want to make sure that the one you get has the 8 cubby holes in it and not the, I think it's 12, I'm not exactly sure, but there's a larger unit that's a little more expensive, and then there's the one that I purchased, which is $79.99. So it's fairly inexpensive depending on, what expensive and inexpensive is for you, but I will definitely say that it's worth it. I got 2 of these, and this is what started our project. My design room is a little crazy, but I have pushed everything to the side so that I can build my own cutting table. I am using the Kallax, I don't even know what it's called. I'm using the Kallax cabinet set or storage unit, 2 of those, and yeah, I'll give you guys all the information in the description box, but while I'm sitting here talking, I could be creating this table. So yeah, let's get started. So the first thing I did was add my table legs. I did purchase a hardware piece because you need that to attach to whatever legs you decide to choose. I will include everything that I'm using in this video in the description box, and you of course can choose whatever style legs that you want, but you will need these metal hardware pieces. So once I attached everything together, then I went ahead and marked out the placement for each leg before I screwed everything down. In total, you'll be using 10 legs, 4 for each corner and then 2 for the center. I wanted to make sure that the center area had some stability to it, so that's why I went ahead and added a table leg here. I'm just making sure everything is evenly spaced out before I screw it down. And as you can see, I'm over here using my little calculator because don't come at me with these math equations trying to figure out how to get this thing even. So yes, if you need a calculator, use it. If you are like me and you don't do math, use a calculator. So everything I did here with the first Kallax unit, I'm just going to mimic the same exact things with the second Kallax unit. And if you notice, there's these little flat braces that I attached so both of my pieces can be combined. I can't remember if these adhesive cushions came with my legs or not, but if they did, yeah, I just went ahead and attached them to my legs so that they don't scratch up my wood floor. At some point, I will swap out these legs for wheels because the way that I maneuver and move things around in my design room, having these legs will not be conducive to, how I move. But for now, it's a good start. I liked the look of the wooden legs. I actually bought wheels, as you can see to the right of the screen, but those were way too small and I just didn't like how they look. So we'll start with these legs for now and then I'll swap them out later on. But if you choose to use wheels or start with wheels, that is completely up to you. Now I'm just assembling the rest of the Kallax pieces. I know that there is an easier way to do this. I'm sure I could have laid everything down and added the shelves and all that good stuff, but clearly I like to challenge myself. So yeah, we're just gonna go against the grain a little bit, but it all came together in the end, so it really does not matter how you assemble this thing. Just make sure that it's sturdy and it's well put together. So now all of the shelves have been placed together on one side, and I'm just gonna repeat the same steps on the next side. Of course, I started that the next morning because your girl was tired. So here we are, just repeating those same steps. I really hate my hair in this video, but I really like this dance that I'm doing because I'm hype. When your vision starts to come together, that's when It just makes sense. So yeah, I was really proud of myself at this point because some of these projects take a while. So what I'm doing here is just tightening up my screws, making sure everything is in place. From here, I want to also make sure that my Kallax units are combined. So I'm going to take another flat brace and attach it, or screw it, excuse me, to the interior of the unit, and you'll do this to both sides so both sides are stable and secure. Then you'll just take your Kallax top, add that to both sections, of course. From here is where we have to get creative because this cannot be our final tabletop. We can't cut on this thing, not like this, it's too small. So what I ended up doing was purchasing a separate piece of wood, and I measured it out to the dimensions that I wanted. I purchased this from Home Depot, cannot remember the exact type of wood it was. All I know is that I wanted a white tabletop to match the rest of my unit. I will probably swap this out at some point for a wooden tabletop, but for now I've just been really feeling white in my design space. So all I'm gonna do is just measure it out so that it's even to the Kallax units, and then I will attach it to the base of the units by screwing in an L bracket piece on both sides, and that will pretty much be it. Right now I'm just checking the size of the screws that came with the L bracket. I don't want anything that is going to go through the entire piece of wood and show on the other side, so I had to find some screws of my own that will fit this area. And earlier, if I said I'm going to attach one of these L brackets to both sides, that was incorrect. I'm going to attach two. So one on this section, one on the other section of the same side, and then go around to the opposite side of the unit and do the same thing. The last step that I have to do to bring this whole unit together, I wanted it to be a seamless white cutting table, and these exposed edges were not working for me. So I took some Edge Mate iron-on trim, and I'm just adding that to the exposed portions of the wood. Don't mind me, I'm dancing because my project is almost finished, but I did notice that once I've added the trimming to the entire top that the tips were a little rough, so I just took some sanding paper and sanded it down so that it'll be seamless. The last thing you want to do is work at your cutting table and the edges are super rough and your arms and hands are rubbing up against it. We don't have time to play those games, so just sand it down. Take an extra 2 minutes and sand it down. And this is the final results. The footage that you just watched is from about 2.5 years ago when I first moved into my townhome and built this cutting table. So now it's been some time. The table has gone through its share of abuse. I'm constantly pounding, punching, cutting, dying on this table. So yeah, it has some wear and tear, but it's still a really great table. I will probably swap it out now with a wooden top and some roller wheels, but other than that, it's an amazing table. It has served me well. It serves the purpose of my space, my leather, my business, just collectively. So I would definitely say give it a go. It is super easy to make, and yeah, enjoy.